When the sun sets, it is time for the top stories from the day. Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Thursday evening. As usual, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I am Glenora Shipura. Starting us off in the news, President Ntumbo Nandi Ndaitwah has reminded Namibian business leaders accompanying her to China that the mission must deliver tangible benefits for the country. Addressing the delegation in Beijing, she said Namibia is expected to spend about $500,000 in foreign reserves on the visit, underscoring the need for both public and private sector participants to secure meaningful partnerships, investments, and outcomes that advance the country's economic interests. While not all travel costs are borne directly by the state, she said the overall expenditure carries national economic significance and must be justified by results. Let's have a look.
I have been saying whenever I go, I would want, before you leave Namibia, you know where you are going to focus. And when you come here, you are just focused. Finally, we owe it to the Namibian people. Some of you will say you came with your own money, which is a myth. That's not your money. You have eaten into our reserve, our foreign reserve. Am I right? That S&T, that ticket you bought with foreign currency, you are eating into our foreign reserve. And we want return from that. Can I tell you now something that you think maybe I don't know? And including myself, as we are all here, we have spent plus minus 500,000 US dollars. On our travel, on our anything, average. I asked the bank to give me average. If I'm sending this number of people to this country, what will be the average expenditure? Now, from now, 4 years down the line, I'm going to find out whether we have replaced that 500,000 US dollar. I'm going to calculate. The Bank of Namibia has work to do. My economic advisor has work to do to see how the economy is moving and how it benefits from this mission. And then I can say I have replaced the 500,000 US dollar. My delegation has stepped from the Namibia foreign reserve to come to China. So please let us replace their money. Thank you very much.
Official opposition leader Emmanuel Nashinge has accused the National Assembly of undermining fairness. Official opposition leader Emmanuel Nashinge has accused the National Assembly of undermining fairness, alleging the opposition parties are being sidelined through what he described as unlawful parliamentary procedures. Speaking during a meeting of official opposition parties on Thursday, Nashinga said opposition MPs have faced questionable behavior from the presiding officer and criticized the scheduling of parliamentary business, claiming motions submitted by opposition members are being overlooked in favor of those tabled by the ruling party. We're all equal here. We all represent the Namibian people, yet we have been forced to advance the agenda of the ruling party, which is undemocratic, he said.
The collective is representatives and servants of the people who were given a mandate by the hundreds of thousands of Namibians to come and represent them, speak for them. And the few months that we've been here has really been a challenge. Those of you that have been following can attest to that. And we really just want to take you through and tell the nation on our behalf. We are faced by quite serious challenges as members of parliament from the opposition. in the sense that on a daily basis we experience, questionable behaviors, especially from the presiding officer, in as far as maintaining fairness and also just the way she ran the business of parliament. You have seen, for example, this week we are told we need to come together on tomorrow, Friday. Yet, the way things are, we have been putting motions, all of us as a collective from both sides. But the agenda for tomorrow is primarily focusing on the motions and items of the ruling party, which is really a serious problem for us. And here we are all equal, we are all representing Namibian people, yet we are being forced to advance the agenda of the ruling party, which is undemocratic.
A total of 225 school-going learners in the Kavango East region fell pregnant during the first term of 2026, with most cases recorded among secondary school learners. According to the Kavango East Directorate of Education, Rundu Rural recorded the highest number of learner pregnancies with 67 cases, followed closely by Rundu Urban with 66. Now, more than 93% of the pregnancies involved learners in grades 7 to 12, with Grade 10 recording the highest number of cases. Kavango East Education Director Christine Shilima says the Directorate has strengthened awareness campaigns through life skills teachers who work with learners, parents and communities to help prevent teenage pregnancies. She says no cases of teachers impregnating learners were reported during the 2025-2026 reporting period, adding that any educator found guilty of such misconduct would face disciplinary action. Shilima attributed the high number of learner pregnancies to social challenges, including inadequate parental supervision, child-headed households, and declining community involvement in protecting children. She urged parents and communities to play a more active role in safeguarding learners, particularly during weekends and school holidays when they are away from school. Moving on to our next story, the government orders KPMG probe into NIP's $5.3 million vehicle scheme. The government, through the Ministry of Health and Social Services, has ordered a forensic investigation into the Namibia Institute of Pathology's NIP controversial $5.3 million Namibian dollars probe. The executive vehicle scheme with audit and advisory firm KPMG understood to have been appointed to conduct the probe. Government sources familiar with the matter told Namibia Media Hub NMH that Health Minister Esperance Luvindau ordered the investigation following concerns surrounding the procurement, ownership and management of vehicles allocated to senior executives under the scheme. The investigation is expected to examine the procurement process, contractual arrangements and current status of the vehicles, including a Mercedes-Benz purchase for former Chief Executive Officer Kapena Shombonde that remained in NIP's possession following her departure in January this year. The executive vehicle scheme first came under public scrutiny in 2023 after media reports revealed that NIP had spent $5.3 million on vehicles for 5 senior executives as part of their employment packages. Apart from Shombonde, the executives who benefited from the scheme are Oitse van Staden, Chief Human Capital Officer, Nambot Ushona, Chief Technical Officer, Vincent Nawasep, Chief Operations Officer, and Sholastika Matulundila, Chief Financial Officer. Documents seen by NMH show that NIP paid $1.1 million for Shombonde's Mercedes-Benz, Ushana received a Ford vehicle worth $1 million, while Noah Seb was allocated a Nissan valued at $987,000. Documents indicate that the payments were made on the 17th and the 28th of November 2023. The institution, however, declined to provide details on whether the vehicle remained on its asset register, its current book value, the cost associated with insurance and maintenance, or whether an offer had been made to the former CEO to take ownership of the vehicle. The forensic investigation is expected to establish whether the procurement and management of the executive vehicles complied with applicable governance, procurement, and contractual requirements. That concludes our top stories. On the other side of the break, we get into our community talk.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Residents of Tsaraga Aibes informal settlement in Oshuarongo have raised concerns over worsening hygiene and sanitation conditions, with Ricardo Namaseb saying persistent littering remains a challenge in the area. Speaking to Network Media Hub, Namaseb said although the municipality regularly cleans the settlement, rubbish often piles up again within days. He called for stricter measures, including fines for those caught littering, warning that waste ending up in riverbeds poses health risk, particularly to children.
Tomorrow morning, same people, they are coming to dump here again. Now our government must make a plan. If you see someone who is coming to dump here, rubbish, they must get a ticket, and even not a ticket, they must go into jail. Because if you are going to look in another countries, the countries, they are clean, but if you're coming back to our country, it's just like this. It's dirty. You see how the place is looking. And now if you are looking to this side, the water is coming from that side, and it's coming, and it's going to this side, and the place is just smelling. The place is a human cannot stay on the place like this one. Small kids, they are staying here, they are playing with this water here. Now, only thing I want is, let's just take Otivarango very clean. They don't care. They will complain and they will say that the Otivarango is very dirty and so on. And the same people, when now Otivarango's municipality was busy to cleaning up now the whole Otivarango now. After a week, just check how it's looking here. Just after a week, now it's very dirty. So please, my people, please, let's take Otivarango to the next level and let's make it clean. So that never happened. That's what I want. So I want people in group. I want people in group to went to municipality and said, municipality, we are very thankful what you were doing it. They make the road nice there, they put a tire road the other side. After that, they start cleaning the place nice. You can even see those dust and those the whole area. But now they again they are just dumping it. I don't know what is wrong with them. So municipality is trying his best. He's cleaning up the whole town. Whole Otivarango. DRC, Charakai base, way, every else. But us, we are doing it the same thing. Not only the Tamara, not only the bamboo, not only the buas, not only what, but we all are doing the same. So let's change.
Up next, we tackle your economic news.
Today's debates, tomorrow's consequences. The agenda puts the spotlight on Namibia's most pressing issues and the people driving them. From headline makers to groundbreakers, we bring you the voices and perspectives at the center of the national conversation. One story, one interview, the depth you won't find anywhere else. That is The Agenda. Catch The Agenda on 102.com and on ntv.my.na.
The Namibia Local Business Association, NALOBA, has distanced itself from the Namibia-China Business Summit currently underway in China, saying local businesses should have been consulted more extensively before international investment engagements. The summit forms part of President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah's state visit to China from the 5th to the 11th of July, where a delegation of more than 200 Namibian business representatives is engaging Chinese companies and exploring possible investment and trade opportunities. NALOBA's Vice President Petrus Amvila said the association chose not to participate because it believes some foreign investments brought into Namibia could place additional pressure on local businesses. He said a government should first engage domestic entrepreneurs to identify the country's priorities before seeking partnerships abroad. Amvila said NALOBA supports meaningful investments but wants Namibia to attract investors who contribute to local economic growth rather than businesses that compete directly with existing local enterprises. In our next story, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah has called on Chinese investors to partner with Namibia in moving the country from an economy focused on resources towards one driven by industrialization, job creation, and value addition. Addressing business leaders in Beijing, the president said Namibia had achieved economic growth but still faced the challenges of ensuring that growth translated into broader development and employment opportunities. All right, we now take a look at the financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 21.97, against the euro at 18.74, against the US dollar at 16.41. 2 Namibian dollars and 41 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold, copper, and platinum went up. Brent crude oil went down, trading at 2.43%, going for $78.18 per barrel. We will be right back with international news on the other side of this. Iranian flexibility mistakenly seen as weakness by U.S. during talks. Iran is still seeking to mend ties with its Gulf neighbors despite launching a series of attacks on their territory. According to Abbas Aslani, a senior fellow at the Tehran-based Center for Middle East Strategic Studies, Iran was doing the same thing it was doing prior to the war, meaning engaging in diplomatic negotiations and tracks in order to find a negotiated settlement, he told Al Jazeera. There has been misinterpretation and misconceptions in the United States and the West that when Iran shows any sign of flexibility, this is interpreted as a sign of weakness, he added. The dynamic could have been inviting and could have seen as a red carpet for further and additional attacks against the country. Despite the escalation, Aslani said Iran has sought to limit the scope and scale of its response to U.S. actions. There have been some discussions between Iranian officials and their counterparts in the region, which is aimed at mending those ties. This is not something liked by Israel and the United States, who are trying to create division between Iran and its neighbors. That concludes our international news. We now take a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. The capital city can expect a minimum of 8 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius, while Gobabis can expect a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. Hendy's Bay can expect a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions, while Arons Vlei can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius. We'll go for a break before we return with your sports news.
Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo.
Here's Ari Hochart with the sports news.
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. It is Wimbledon that is taking place at the moment. The finals this coming weekend. Men's final on Sunday, the women's final on Saturday. Much anticipated semi-finals of the men's side of the draw that will be on Friday. It is Novak Djokovic that will play against Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner is number 1 seed and defending champion, and Novak Djokovic won the singles title 7 previous times. And it is Novak Djokovic that's 39 years old. In the other semi-final, also a surprise, it is Arthur Ferry of Great Britain. He will play in the semi-final. It's a surprise because he's seated 114th in the world rankings, and that was before the start of the tournament, and is into the semi-final after beating Flavio Cobolli in 3 sets. That is 6-4, 7-6, and 6-love. Cobolli played in the French Open final quite recently, and Ferry have a difficult semi-final that he will play in. He will play against number 2 seed Alexander Zverev, and it's unique because Arthur Ferry is a qualifier into the tournament, and both these semi-finals played on Friday. Continuing international sports news with soccer news, that is from the 2026 Men's FIFA World Cup, and the big quarterfinals being played on Thursday evening and Friday morning. That is Namibian time, and it is firstly France that will play against Morocco. That is on Thursday evening, and then on Friday morning, Namibian time, it will be Spain that will play against Belgium. More soccer news is from the English Premier League, and it is Manchester United that agreed terms from Chelsea, and that is to sign over Brazilian midfielder Andre Santos to Manchester United, and that will be for a fee that is estimated to be around 50 million American dollars. Closing off today's international sports news with cycling news, the Tour de France continues, and it is stage 5. It was a chaotic sprint to the line, and the winner there was Olaf Koy. He is from the Netherlands, and in second position, Max Kanter from Germany. Overall classifications after stage 5 is still that it is Torsten Trien from Norway that's leading. He's got a combined time of 16 hours, 32 minutes and 7 seconds and is leading by 28 seconds over Sean Quinn of the USA into second position. Defending champion Tajes Pogačar, he is in fifth position at the moment. He is 7 minutes and 53 seconds behind the leader. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We'll talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in all week and catching up on the latest news with Sunset News. From me, Glenora Shipora, I'll see you next week, same time, same place.